Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about dream journaling. I'm going to give you some tips on how to do it, and I'm also going to give you some journal prompts. So if this is something that you want to start doing, then you're going to want to watch this video. Alright, so let's get into this video about dream journaling. So I'm going to tell you how to do dream journaling and give you a couple of journal prompts to help you with your dream journaling. So let's get started with the first tip is, this is how we're going to do dream journaling. I'm going to tell you all the steps involved, and there's only a couple. Clearly, this isn't a very complicated thing. It's really fun and it's very rewarding and fulfilling, and you can get a lot of inner work done. So obviously the first tip here is to get a journal. So there's a couple different types of ways that you can get a journal for dream journaling. You can actually buy a physical hardcover dream journal book. I've never bought one, but I'm sure there are some on Amazon because Amazon has everything. But I make mine with myself. I make printables. So I have the printable one that I just make myself, and I have it available on Etsy, but I print it off and then I just put it on a clipboard and I keep it next to my bed. And it's easy to do that because it's easier to print a new sheet every time you need one, and you're not having to buy another journal when your journal fills up. And this is another one of the reasons why I love printable journals to begin with, because you never have to buy anymore once you buy that one. I mean, unless of course you want different ones, but if you're going to get a dream journal, you buy the dream journal that's printable, and then you have it forever, and you can just print new pages every time that you need another page, which you're going to. You know, if you do this the right way, you're going to need a new page every day. So that's 365 pages a year. So just think of how much money you're going to spend buying a new dream journal, a hardcover one, a physical book every year, or even, probably more than once a year, because I don't think I've ever seen a journal that would hold 365 pages. So this is just my preference. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but I like the printable sheets. They're just less clutter laying around, and also, you can print a new one whenever you need it. So after you get yourself a dream journal, then you're going to want to do one of these two steps. Either write down your dreams as soon as you wake up, or this is a preliminary step to that. You still need to do that, but you can also lay there with your eyes closed and mentally go back through the dream and then write it in your journal. Why that is kind of a good idea is because if you have your dream journal laying next to your bed and it's dark when you wake up, you're probably going to have to turn on some sort of a light and find your pen, find your journal. You're going to have to sit up in your bed. And it sounds hard to believe, but even just doing those things, you're going to forget some details of your dream. The dream is always going to be the most freshest in your mind immediately, as soon as you wake up. So that's why this is my preferred method, is the second one here, where as soon as I wake up, I go right back into the dream's details, like the feelings that I had from it, what exactly I remember from it, and I'll lay there and I'll replay it. I'll mentally replay it at least 2 or 3 times. And that way, sometimes more details will come and I will be able to remember it easier. The more I repeat it, the more I mentally go back through it. So once I have pretty much the whole dream thought of, I can really remember it good enough to the point where no matter what happens in the next couple minutes, I'll still remember that dream. So that's when I sit up and turn on my little, I have a little book light, and I clip it onto my clipboard that I keep my dream journal pages on. And that way, when I turn that on, that's a very dim, amber colored light. It's not a glaring, bright light that's gonna, screw up your sleep. Or, your eyes are sensitive to light in the morning. So basically what you want to do is slowly get yourself into the light. So I use those little book lights in bed. So they're a perfect thing to do when you're writing down your dreams. So that way, since you've gone through and mentally replayed your dream a couple of times, by the time you find your pen, turn on your little light, get your clipboard, sit up and get ready to write, you will have those dream details fresh in your mind. And then you will be able to write out the whole dream. So then the last thing is to do this every single day. This is training. And this is why this is such a crucial step, because this is really a crucial step if you want to do lucid dreaming, because the first thing they tell you when you're practicing lucid dreaming is to, every single time you have a dream, write it down. Every single morning. This is crucial. And actually, to take it one step further, if you really want to get serious about lucid dreaming, they tell you to do it, like I said, every time you have a dream. So every 90 minutes, your body has another sleep cycle. So you will have dreams every 90 minutes. And I didn't believe this was true, because I used to wake up every morning and I remembered one dream, maybe two. And I thought, well, I must have just had one or two dreams. Sometimes I don't remember any. But the thing is, our minds will forget these dreams, except for the ones that you just had right before you woke up. So when you train yourself to do lucid dreaming, they want you to write down every dream, and then what happens is the more you train yourself to write down your dreams, every single time you have one, you will begin to wake up every 90 minutes, and the more you do it, the more you'll do it. It's like one of those snowball effects. So this is only if you want to be really serious about lucid dreaming. But if you're not into that, if you just want to remember your regular dreams, you want to remember the one that you most recently had, then I would definitely just, set your intention to do it every single morning. And if somebody does not know what lucid dreaming means, it literally just means you are becoming aware of your dream. You're becoming aware that you're dreaming. You actually feel yourself waking up within your dream. And it sounds kind of weird. It's like the movie Inception, only it's not multiple layers of it. It's just you're dreaming. And then next thing you know, your consciousness is aware that you're dreaming. And you can actually control your dreams to some extent once you get really good at it. But the thing that I didn't like about lucid dreaming was I didn't like having to wake up every 90 minutes. And when I really got into the thick of it, I was, a week or two straight of waking up every 90 minutes. And I realized I wasn't getting enough sleep. It was great though, learning about my dreams, because you really have so many dreams every night and you're losing out on those. Think of all the dreams that you're missing. You'll never remember them ever again if you don't train yourself to wake up and record them right away. So that's something to think about. You probably don't want to skimp on sleep, so it's best to just, it depends what your goal is, really. So basically, do it every day if you can. So now we're going to move on to the next part of this, and that is, what do you write in your dream journal? Dating it is very important because you want to know which day you had which dream, and you want to be able to pick up on patterns. You want to be able to pick up on what you did that day that might have triggered that dream. Or maybe something that happened at a certain day would maybe, what's the word I'm thinking of? There's a word I'm thinking of that makes you have a certain dream a couple days later. It'll affect your dreams, whatever. But that's what you need to do, is write, it's like regular journaling. You always want to put the date at the top. The next thing you want to write is your dream description. So this was what I said earlier. When you're laying in bed and you're replaying your dream before you write it down, you want to write down everything. Describe everything, even small details, because our subconscious mind works in details. It works in symbols. It works in feelings. So it might slip something in there. Maybe you have a dream that somebody handed you a piece of paper and it had some words on it. You might have thought that doesn't mean anything, but what those words are is probably something important. So write everything down. You just never know. Because when you're going back over your dream records, you're going to see patterns. You're going to see things that pop up more than once. And that is the key to dream journaling. A lot of people say, to dream journal, you just have to look up, well, I had a dream about a tree. What does a tree mean in dreaming? That is not the correct way to go about dream journaling. And I used to think that too. I actually have a dream index, not an index, the dream book that tells you what everything means, all the meanings, all the symbols. But really, what those things mean to you is what really makes the difference, because you're the one having the dream. The dream is coming from just you. I don't think it's very accurate to go by those dream books. So learn yourself. And this is another way that this ties back into regular journaling. Journaling is a way to get to know your internal self, your subconscious, your higher self. So these are how your dreams are how that communicates with you. So dream journaling is, it's so crucial. It's such an amazing way to get to know yourself. So you really want to record all of those dream descriptions, because you don't want to miss a thing of what your subconscious is trying to tell you. The next thing you have to write down is your feelings and emotions. This is another really crucial thing because, like I said, your subconscious works in feelings. It works in symbols. It works in just an overall sense. Like, I don't know if you have ever felt this. You probably have. But when you wake up from a dream sometimes, maybe you don't really know what happened. You just know what feeling or emotion you feel. Like, you might feel like you were just in a place, and what feeling did that place give you? So that's very important to write those down. And then journal prompts is another great way to help you. This is just a supplemental way to write, to dig deeper and get to some things that you might not have thought of to write down. So here are some journal prompts that are really good. What do I think this dream means? This is just a surface level interpretation off the top of your head. What do you think it means? It might not be the correct assumption, but it's going to be something. And like I said, when you go back and review your dream records, you might pick up on a theme. And let's say, you write, I think this dream meant this. And then the next day, I think this dream meant this. But, you might forget. So then when you go back and review them, you might be like, oh, wow, I had 3 dreams that month that I thought they all meant this, and now I'm starting to see that that's true. So that's one way that you can do that. The next journal prompt is how does this dream relate to my current situation? And that is kind of relates to what I just said with when you go back and read them, then you will be able to see patterns. And that's why dating your dreams is very important, because you want to keep a journal, of course, every day. You probably do if you're watching this video, because this channel is all about journaling. But if you date all of your journal entries and you write down the things that happened in your life, and then you start to compare them to your dream journal entries, you're going to notice relations. You're going to notice how things are similar, and that's where you can pick up on the patterns. Another journal prompt is there a main message I think this dream is telling me? This might be another way of asking the first question, but this dives deeper into a main message, meaning like, what's the theme? And this is another assumption, of course, but it's important to at least write down what you think. So then feelings and emotions, this is just what I have in my dream journal is a bunch of these feelings. And this is just to get you started with, maybe you can't put a finger on what the feeling was, but if you go through a list of feelings and emotions, it might be like, oh yes, I forgot. I did have a dream where I felt guilt or where I felt jealousy, things like that. So if this sounds really good to you and you actually want to really do this, I have a printable dream journal, and it includes all of the things that I talked about in this video, including all of the same journal prompts and a section for the date, a section for the dream description. There are 3 different styles of pages, like different designs. but there's 2 pages. There's one, well, you know, one page is going to have the date and the dream description and the little cloud that has the feeling words for you, and then the other page is going to be journal prompts, the journal prompts that I just gave you. So if you want to check this out, this is on Etsy. It's a download, so it's printable. It's only a couple dollars. You can get it right away, and you can start in the morning. So thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.